procedure to start with the most pertinent storylines. Let's start with this one. We are currently, no joke, in a tornado watch here in Madison, Wisconsin. With that said, the storm isn't here for a few hours. You'd be crazy to try and delay a softball matchup like this one anyways. The high-powered Michigan Wolverines are in Madtown to take on the hometown Wisconsin Badgers. I'm Vince Hesbrick with Johnny Rader. Now, Johnny, these teams are very even, but the Wolverines have really had their way with the Badgers in the past.
Yeah, the Wolverines absolutely have had the Badgers' number, whether it's a conference season series or being knocked out in the tournament. The Wolverines have always found their way on the good side of the coin, but still a huge opportunity with both teams hovering around 500 in the conference to make a statement in front of the home crowd today.
Yeah, Wisconsin comes in with the better record in conference play. They're 7-8 to Michigan's 6-9, but the stats very similar for these teams, Johnny, particularly on offense.
Yeah, both of these teams are capable of scoring and scoring fast. 58 home runs for Michigan this season, but both of these teams are having a little bit of trouble with pitching depth, and that's what is separating these two teams from the top half of the conference. Where this game is probably going to be won, though, is infield defense. It's been a struggle recently for the Badgers, and one of the strengths that Coach Thole has pointed as a consistent part of this Michigan Wolverine squad.
And, Johnny, you talk about pitching. Right now, Michigan allowing 7 runs a game in the conference season. That said, those numbers overall have been halfway decent for them. Now look at the Badgers' defense. They're definitely improved, but, Johnny, they also struggled last time out against Nebraska.
Yeah, you mentioned the struggle recently. Game 3 against Nebraska was self-inflicted mistakes from the infield to allow the avalanche of base runners, teeing up a grand slam from Jordy Fromm. It's going to have to take a great effort from Conger and Olivia Bark to be able to field these softballs cleanly and get out of these innings without any damage done.
And now to Michigan's batting order, they really have some nice talent from top to bottom.
Yeah, this team knows how to get on base, that's for sure. They're an explosive batting order that has scored double digits several times, and that's what it took in both of their wins over Ohio State with a 2-1 series win, led by Lauren Putz.
Putz, of course, is one of the best players in the nation. This sophomore has just been dynamite all season in that 3 spot. She's 3rd in the Big Ten in RBIs, top 5 in the nation in RBIs per game. In a circle for the Badgers, that's Shelby Jacobson. Works more off-speed, but still gets a ton of strikeouts with that changeup.
A rise change type of pitcher. Jacobson started off well, keeping the Badgers within striking distance in Game 1 versus Nebraska. Just saw no offense response from the batting department, and the wheels eventually did fall off.
First pitch here from Goodman Softball Complex, taken for a strike as we're underway. The incredibly named Indiana Langford leading off for the Michigan Wolverines. And she really is just the quintessential leadoff hitter. 378 on the season. And a 500 on-base percentage.
Had a couple Badgers with the 500 on-base percentage, but both these teams have played Nebraska, one of the best pitching teams in the country. So even more impressive from this Michigan Wolverine offense.
Yeah, Johnny, you said it. Michigan started 0-6 in conference, but both were against Washington and Nebraska, two of the best teams in the Big Ten. Fouled back over our heads. And Michigan, no panic to their name, won the next 3 Big Ten conference series. And that has them at 6-9, a loaded Big Ten.
They got that series win over Northwestern as well. They place high in the conference as well. Started off slow in that series, losing 4-0, but then an offensive explosion with 9 runs in the Game 2 and 11 in Game 3.
Here's the 1-2, bounces in, count even. Wisconsin comes in 22-15 overall. Michigan 27-15. Badgers have just played a few less games than the rest of the Big Ten. A few cancellations thrown in there.
Little ironic.
2-2 to Langford, and we'll do it again. And Johnny, of course, we kind of had the bizarrest way of leading off a broadcast. We are in a tornado watch right now, but a pretty good crowd still on hand, especially because this contest was moved up a few hours from its initial starting time.
Yeah, and Bucky Badger's doing a good job hyping up the crowd.
2-2, grounded to short. Nice play from Conger, and there's out number 1.
Talked about Conger having trouble fielding those type of plays early on in the Nebraska series. Good start for the Badgers to get the first out up on the board.
So they'll bring up Janisa Conway, the center fielder. 7 triples tied for most in the nation.
And we saw her during warm-ups nuking softballs.
12 homers, that's second on the team. Behind her star teammate on deck, Lauren Putz. And Conway, just a ton of experience as a junior, started all 60 games at center field as a freshman, 59 out of 60 as a sophomore in center. And she drills this one a mile into the air, straight out to center field, where camping under it is Danny Lucy.
Yeah, during warm-ups, those were all home runs. Nuked that one. A little high on that one. 2 straight outs for the Badgers defense.
And ironically, Johnny, there's a real chance that that is a home run later on because we know the wind is going to keep picking up as we go on throughout. Right now it's at about 15 miles an hour. It's going to get up to 18, though, later on. So
and gusts
expect runs aplenty. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now here's the big star from Michigan. Lauren Putz takes outside for ball 1. And, of course, the numbers just pop off your screen. That OPS 3rd in the Big Ten behind the 2 big stars for UCLA. Maybe the most impressive thing about Putz is just the fact that she's only a sophomore, Johnny.
Yeah, and she was responsible for most of the scoring in the 13-2 loss to OSU. 1 for 3 at bat, 1 home run, 1 RBI.
Putz was an all Big Ten freshman in 2025, fouled back. Also a top 25 finalist for National Freshman of the Year. That said, Johnny, not on the Big Ten first or second team last year, despite hitting .392 with 14 homers and a 1.2 OPS. So if that has been on her mind at all as a way of getting revenge, she has definitely earned it because she's having one spectacular season. You saw Jacobson kind of lose her balance a little bit there in the circle. 2-1 dropped in for a strike. There's that changeup we talked about.
It's going to be another test for her. Went up against some really good batters from Nebraska. No different here, one of the best offenses in the Big Ten.
Jacobson has been the ace for this Badger team, leads them in innings in just about every category. 2-2. Popped well foul.
Yeah, Jacobson's really been that senior leader, has team support. She's spotting up and spitting it, according to Coach Healy. She's doing a good job.
I guess Coach Healy knows how to turn a phrase.
Away with words.
Yeah. 2-2 to Putz. Grounded to second. Slow roller. And that will be a 2-out base hit for Lauren Putz, showing off the speed.
Putz showing off the 5.68 on-base percentage, getting on base right there. Decent attempt there from the Badger defense to get that out, but quick on base there for the Michigan offense to maybe get something going here on the top of this first inning.
So now the star two-way player, Erin Hain, will get an at-bat with a runner on. Hain is starting for Michigan in the circle. But as a batter, she has really been terrific. First pitch well inside.
Yeah, another two-way right-handed pitcher and batter going against the Badgers. Went against 2 of them last series, but hitting 28 RBIs and 5 home runs. This is one of the greats as well in the conference with Hain.
Hitting .360 on the year, .616 slugging. And Jacobson quickly ahead of the count. Here's the 0-2 to Erin Hain. Oh, and it hit her. Well, we saw that first pitch to Hain was well inside, and Hain couldn't get hit by that one, and then hit by this one. Now runner in scoring position for the Wolverines.
Trying to nip the strike zone there, trying to go inside and give her a test there, but a little too much on that one.
Up comes Ella Stevenson for the Wolverines, hitting .316 on the year, and she has undergone a terrific transformation the way she has changed her style of play as of late. Oh, and this is ripped high and deep. Goodbye! A no-doubter for Ella Stevenson, and the Wolverines break it open.
You talk about changing the way she plays. How about the first at-bat, first pitch, sends that away deep into left field. Wow. Good start for the Wolverines.
And as we were about to say that Stevenson hasn't homered in her last 13 games, working on the contact a bit more. Right on cue, a no-doubter from contact.
Yeah, she was 0 for 2 in the last conference game, left 2 players on base, and now she gets the redemption, sends 3 runners home.
And now Jacobson just trying to escape this first inning. Got the first Two batters out. Then an infield hit for Putz, a walk to Hain, and Stevenson goes yard. Valamont, the catcher, was a redshirt sophomore last year, started 54 games, pops this one over our heads. She was the #1 catching prospect in the nation past 2 years. The number's a little bit down, but now she is swinging free, as her coach has described it, and she's really contributed to this offensive attack.
These Michigan hitters have been aggressive right from the jump. They're not scared to hit the first pitch, and we saw this in warm-ups. They've been aggressive from the start.
Valamont to second, and the Badgers escape the inning, but not before Michigan. 2 outs, nobody on, no problem. 3 runs off a 3-run blast.
When congestion has you feeling off, turn on new Afrin Saline, made with seawater, and feel the rush of extra strength daily relief.
Wow.
Afrin Saline. Now, the wow is real every day.
Welcome back to Goodman Softball Complex in Madison, Wisconsin. Vince Heswick with John and William Rader. The Wolverines lead 3-0 as Ella Stevenson just teed off her 8th home run of the season. As we now take a look at the Wolverines' defense, Johnny. They've been one of the best in the Big Ten so far, been really consistent.
Yeah, Coach Thole preached consistency. As a coach, you got to nitpick everything, but you can't really nitpick this Michigan infielding and outfielding defense. It's been the bread and butter for this Michigan defense so far this season.
Now look at the Badgers' order. Hillary Blomberg is the big star for them, that 2 spot, but Emily Bojan has been incredible at getting on base.
Yeah, Nebraska did a number to those batting averages for this Wisconsin batting order here, but this is a very good hitting team.
Bojan takes upstairs. And we just saw Hain reach base after getting hit by a pitch, and now here she is in the circle, comes in with a 4.43 ERA. She's the best swing and miss pitcher in the Wolverines' arsenal. Really nice rise ball. Also the curve change. Last year, Johnny, she did 2.89 ERA, was 18-7 this year, though. 300 average against. That's 70 points higher compared to last season.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a down year for her, but still she's definitely the best pitcher on this squad.
Emily Bojan takes a strike at the top of the zone. She's been one of the phenoms for this Badger team. Hit 250 last year, but all those numbers have skyrocketed. In fact, she reached safely the first 35 games of the season. That's the second longest streak in program history. That said, in Game 2, could not reach against Nebraska as the Huskers really shut down the Badgers' offense. So Kelsey Jenkins still holds the record with 40.
Yeah, and Aaron has the ability to throw the ball above the eye plane of hitters and still be deceiving to them and comes at you with that. And like you said, the rise ball and the hurt ball and the changeup is her bread and butter.
The 2-2, count runs full. We talked about in the open how Michigan has a better ERA as a pitching staff compared to the Badgers, 4 versus 5. That said, Michigan has really struggled in conference play. 7 runs allowed in Big Ten play. It was less than 3 in the non-conference season.
Yeah, in the last conference game against Ohio State, Hain played about an inning and allowed 5 hits and 4 runs. So a little bit of an off game for them. It's been usually what people point to in their losses.
Yeah, and that series against OSU, Johnny, 6 1/3 inning, 10 runs. It's a 3-2, fouled again. That said, did throw a scoreless inning against Central Michigan. Wolverines took that one 8-1 just 3 days ago. Tight schedule. payoff pitch, driven out to deep left field, gone! A leadoff bomb for the Badgers, and they are back in it.
What a redemption after that Nebraska series to go 0 for 3 in Game 3, being so off, and then to come back and start in the first inning and hit a home run to get this Badger offense back into gear.
5th home run of the season for Bojan. Almost the exact same spot as Stevenson as well, that left field wall. That is where the wind is blowing as well. And yeah, she knew it as soon as she hit it.
One of the few positives to this weather right now for both squads.
Now up comes Hillary Blomberg, the star catcher for the Badgers. Her freshman year, she set the Badger freshman record for average, as we're going to have ourselves a mound meeting. Her sophomore year, the average went down a bit, but the home run numbers went up. She had 14 last year. But then this year, she really has kind of put it all together with the power and the average. Her best season right now, hitting .390, 12 homers already. She's second all-time in the program's history in homers for a career.
Yeah, the strategy usually for this Badger squad is to set the table for her, put some players on base, and those 12 home runs really show it. And she's 12 away from the program record.
And Kayla Conway, I remember being here when she was in her final season with the Badgers, and she is probably the best, one of the best overall players in the Badgers' history of their program. She was just getting the Barry Bonds treatment at the end, where they would just walk her intentionally no matter what. It's probably the spot that Lauren Putz is approaching right now for Michigan. But if Blomberg is in Madison next year, you got to think that 9 away plus this season as well, still some time left. That'd be a really impressive milestone for a really impressive player.
And you saw that kind of treatment as well in the Maryland series with Blomberg.
This is roped into right field, and a really nice jump by Putz out and right.
Good way to start for this Michigan defense. First out there, getting back into this inning.
And Putz made that one look easy, but she was, as soon as that one was hit, she was charging in at the right angle. That's one of those plays where it only looks easy because of the great defense. And now the sleeveless Olivia Bark with one out.
One of the few bright spots in the Nebraska series, ending that no-hitter from Jordy Fromm.
She had the game-winning RBI in the home opener for the Badgers against Maryland. Played outfield last year, now at third base. Also played some first as well. 1-0, grounded to third. And a nice job from Erickson to field that one on the hop.
Quick 2 outs there from the Michigan defense, getting right back into this and looking to escape this inning with only 1 run allowed.
Definitely good bounce back for Erin Hain. Your offense gives you 3 runs, and then your first at-bat is a bomb to a really great player. But she has settled in a bit here. Not out of the woods yet against Kendra Lewis. Mentioned a bit ago how how Hillary Blomberg had the Badgers' freshman record for average, heading around .360. But Lewis, the very next year, just took it away from her teammate, hit .400.
She was one of the few bright spots offensively for the Badgers against Nebraska, one of the few players to get a hit in Game 2. Only 7 total hits in the entire series.
Yeah, that was good to see her break out a bit. She's hitting just .227 in conference play, .577 OPS. Calling card for her, though, she does not strike out. Still just 1 strikeout in conference play despite the lack of hits, 3 on the season. Just a matter of elevating the ball is the big one for her.
And being a utility player, she throws a lot of strikeouts as well with 28 on the year.
The 2-1 ripped over the head of the second fielder. 2-out base runner for the Badgers. And Kendra Lewis keeps it going. So Danny Lucy will come on for the Badgers, hitting .350 on the season. She's one of the better defenders, setting fielders in the nation. Last year was part of the Big Ten defensive team. And 2 years ago, she wasn't much of a contributor when it came to being in the batter's box, but she was oftentimes used as a pinch runner. She was great on the base paths. And that's kind of the way of seeing who's going to be the part of the next, we'll say, generation for Wisconsin. Or if you see them running the base pass, they're in that pinch running spot. We know Yvette Healy, the manager for Wisconsin, likes using those pinch runners a lot. And this role for Lucy has only grew.
Yeah, only one home run on the year for her so far, but last year being tied for third on the team in home runs, she definitely can send home this base runner here for the Badgers.
And, Johnny, I'm going to be embarrassed if I don't ask. Did I say second fielder on that Kendra Lewis single?
I don't remember.
All right. I don't know if I did. Oops. 2-1 to Lucy. Drilled hard but foul. A little bit ahead of that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, there's a complete difference in this series with how often these softballs are getting hit.
Lucy, a 350 average, and yeah, I mean, that one probably foul no matter what, but you could see it really twist left with the flags blowing that direction.
Key play here with the full count.
Yeah, that last pitch very close to an inning strikeout, but instead, Lucy steps back in. The payoff pitch, ball 4. Now a runner in scoring position for the Badgers. Here comes the hard-hitting Jackie Showalter.
Getting 2 players on base is key, especially for a batter that is scary at the plate with the home runs hit. We're going to stoppage and play.
I'll tell you what, we're going to have a pinch hitter now for the Badgers playing some matchup. Addison Weary comes in, the freshman. Haven't seen a ton of her this year for the Badgers, but she has definitely made her presence felt. Hitting .227 on the year, but an OPS over 800. 22 at-bats, 5 hits, 1 home run. Also 4 walks as well.
Yeah, Addison Weary has seen a surge of usage at the plate for at-bats. She's up to a .227 batting average, 7 RBIs, 1 home run. And that's really ramped up since they played that Maryland series.
Both M's.
Lots of M's in this conference.
So now a similar spot for Wisconsin that Michigan just had. Michigan had 2 outs, nobody on, and got 3 runs. The Badgers hoping to respond. They got that leadoff home run from Emily Bojan. And now anything off the wall with Lucy's speed at first, and this could be a tie game, Johnny.
No better way to do it than with a Bay Conference hitter from Seymour, Wisconsin.
Seymour.
Easier one to say.
I should know this. Where is Seymour? Is that up by Green Bay area, or am I way off?
A little bit north of Brown County.
Okay. Maybe the most Midwest conversation ever happened.
Definitely a lot of farms.
The 2-1 to Weary inside, and now a hitter's count.
Yeah, Michigan was able to string together those 2 outs quite quickly, but Badgers have done a good job rebounding with 2 outs on the count.
The 3-1 to Weary upstairs, and the bases are loaded. The freshman comes in and does her job.
Now you get Whitten, who just had her first career home run in Game 3 versus Nebraska, to build up that offensive momentum and get some positive things going coming into this series against Michigan.
Yeah, right on cue, the graphic pops up. First career home run. That was the bright spot against Nebraska. She's played some nice defense at second base, but now the bat is what the Badgers need from her.
When she came around circling to home plate, the team was celebrating as if they were the ones up 12-2. This team is firmly together in team chemistry.
The first pitch, right at the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Yeah, with 3 players on base, it's really going to test this infield defense. See what they can do and hold themselves to no errors, hold themselves accountable here.
And another called strike. Erin Hain has thrown more pitches than I'm sure she intended in this first inning after getting those 2 outs. With just one more pitch, and she will have escaped the jam. The 0-2 to Whitten.
Another player that started as a pinch hitter for Coach Yvette Healy.
Johnny, you can see that view from left field. That's Megan Molesky giving us the camera angle behind home plate. And it's getting a little bit darker out there in that direction, you can tell.
I'm seeing some droplet spots here.
I don't think that's droplets. We'll find out,
Maybe
I guess.
from earlier.
Yeah. The 1-2 to Whitten. Bases loaded. Lifted to right field. Long run, and Whitten will get another chance.
Almost playable there for the Michigan defense, but nonetheless, everyone going back to their spots.
Yeah, Janelle Ilakwa, the second baseman, was on her horse. Almost gave herself a chance. A 3-run homer gave Michigan the lead. Wisconsin a home run to answer and a chance to break this game open. The 1-2 pitch upstairs.
Whitten was able to send Ava Parent home when Ava Parent was on base. Able to steal 2 bases to get in scoring position. Whitten able to knock her home. That one almost hit Coach there.
Now, if you've been in the biz as long as Yvette Healy, I'm sure you're always on the swivel. Weary at first, Lucy at second, Lewis at third for the Badgers. The 2-2 pitch over the head of the shortstop. 1 run is in. Here comes Lucy, and the Badgers have tied it. Whitten gets to second. A 2 RBI double for the sophomore.
Whitten has been on a roll for these last 8 innings. Able to send 2 runs for the Badgers in their loss to Nebraska, but here, a great response to tie the game and get 2 Badgers in scoring position.
Both these offenses just relentless in the first inning with 2 outs. And now Wisconsin a chance to get greedy as Mackenzie Foster hopes to give the Badgers the lead. Foster, a transfer from Syracuse. Has been a hot bat as of late for the Badgers.
3rd highest batting average on that Syracuse team as a freshman. In a great position to get her 11th RBI on the season.
Of course, first base is open, 2-0 count. Ooh, big swing and a miss. Foster wanted a moment. It's not exactly desirable to load up these bases because Conger, the shortstop for the Badgers, hitting .309. She's on deck. On the ground, just foul.
Coach Thole talked about the importance of pinching the strike zone, but so far for Hain, she's been given a lot of layup hits here for the Badgers.
I'll give credit to the Badgers, though. They've been staying patient. You can see that pitch count at 38. And it updates after every at-bat, so more than that. Whitten at second for the Badgers, Weary at third. The 2-2 pitch to Mackenzie Foster is low. So here we go, another full count with runners in scoring position for the Badgers. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded once more.
Great position for Hannah Conger here to be able to send at least one of these players home. 1 for 2 in game 3, so definitely capable of getting some offense going here for the Badgers. And so far today, the Badgers have cleared the weakness of not being able to get players on base that they had against Nebraska. 3 here in scoring position for the Badgers.
And here's Bonnie Thole to talk with one of the head umpires. That's Brandon Blum. It's been some kind of inning here for the Badgers, and I think we're going to see a pitching change here, Johnny.
Yeah, Michigan has been doing this in their last couple games, especially Game 3 against Ohio State. Almost all of their pitchers have gotten a chance to play an inning or two.
So Hain will move to first, and she will replace the flex, Maddie Ramey.
Now we're going to get Gabby Ellis.
Gabby Ellis comes in, 4.16 ERA, 9-4 on the season. Second on this team in innings with 72 1/3. And I'll tell you what, this is a big-time spot, a really short hook for Erin Hain.
And for some context going into this game as well, in that last conference game, Game 3 versus Ohio State, she got a chance to start off the game, 1 inning played, but allowed 7 runs, a walk, and did get a chance to put up a strikeout. Key situation to be able to end this inning here for the Wolverines.
Ellis is the junior, a transfer from Mercer. She started the season scorching hot, entered March with an ERA under 2, then entered April with an ERA under 3. But Johnny, last 4 appearances, 9 2/3 innings, 16 earned runs. And we knew going in for Michigan that it was going to be kind of a pitching staff by committee. They're just going to kind of roll with who's got their best stuff on a given day. And right now with a game of this much importance, it's clear that Bonnie Thole is not going to leave any margin for error for any of these pitchers. So the stage is set for Hannah Conger for the Badgers.
And Conger, just a sophomore. Last year was named to the Softball American Freshman Watch List. Getting action early in her career.
Popped up.
Could be
Might
playable.
stay fair. Ooh, and the third baseman comes charging in, Maddie Erickson, to put it away. And Michigan, despite all of that, keeps this game tied. Michigan had a 3-run home run in the first. Wisconsin, a conga line of hits. They pass the baton when the dust has cleared. It's 3-3 in Madtown.
When congestion gets in the way, flush it out with extra strength Afrin Saline with seawater. Wow, extra strength for daily relief.
Well, it's a picturesque scene out in left field here at the Goodman Softball Complex, but also a little foreboding considering what's to come. Right now we're in a tornado watch in Madison. It's the first game of a doubleheader between Wisconsin and Michigan, and this weather, to say it's worth monitoring, Johnny, is an understatement, not just for the context of this game, but our plans the rest of the day and how fast we have to leave this building.
Yeah, strong winds. 1 tornado above Cottage Grove on Wednesday, and now you get basically the same type of thing here in Madison. Humidity at 67%. So it's been quite the last 3-day stretch here for Madison.
First pitch is swing and a miss.
And even softball-sized hail.
Oh, my goodness. Never in my life have I seen forecast tornado watch on a softball broadcast. I know we have the Big Ten awards, the Big Ten Plus awards coming up. If there's a best graphic category, that has to be on there.
I thought he was laughing at what I was talking about,
No.
but he saw the graphic and immediately started dying.
Well, here's Maddie Erickson, hitting .218 on the year, but has been really terrific at third base. Hit .352 as a sophomore, was first team All Big Ten. Michigan just trying to unlock some of that ability. Tough play at short. Conger a rope to first in time.
Another great play from Conger, bouncing back from Nebraska. Probably put a couple extra reps on that type of play, and so far it's showing to pay dividends here for the Badgers defense.
I got to ask. I know this might be unprofessional. I'm just going to ask our producer, Mafe, straight up. Whose idea was it to put Tornado Watch as the forecast? Okay. Well, grounder to third. A nice play and another incredible throw to first. Means 2 quick outs for the Badgers.
Quick 1-2. Olivia Bark, Hannah Conger, both making outstanding infield defense type of plays. Again, got to say it again, but they're bouncing back stupendously here against Michigan.
The shutout belongs to Shay Leahy. That's our graphics operator who wins the prize.
It's probably fun to type out.
Yep. Janelle Hakwa takes the first pitch low and away. Senior has a great batting average coming in. Some nice defense as well. In over 39 games last year, Johnny, she hit 125. This year she started 2 for 12. As grounded to short. Conger again, lost it, regathers. And not in time. Hakwa will reach.
Maybe a little bit of an announcer's jinx for me, but still great to regain control and still be able to throw it to first base and make it a conversation.
Yeah, we heard that's going to be an error on Conger after a pair of nice plays to her name before. And Langford drops down a bunt but foul.
Yeah, in the last matchup against Wisconsin last year, Alakwa recorded an RBI single down the line. There's a little bit of history there. Able to get on base.
Langford, the DP, led off this game with a ground out. Played a lot of second base last year, but the DP this year. All Big Ten first team as well last season. And Johnny, in the game of softball, it's not uncommon to see players have a higher on-base percentage than slugging, which is usually unusual, but it's rare to see a chasm this big. 500 on-base percentage, 386 slugging.
Yeah, she's trying her best to get on base here. Trying to advance Alakwa here. Not turning out so well so far, but good response from pitching here from Jacobson.
Here's the 2-2 to Langford. Fouled again. After April 1st, Langford's average was .455. She's had just 2 hits in her last 7 games, but she's reached base in every one. The on-base streak is at 26 games right now, Johnny.
Yeah, but that one walk against Ohio State, going 0 for 2 at bat, kept the streak alive.
The 2-2 to Indiana Langford, just outside. The count's full.
Another key position here for the Wisconsin defense to get out of this inning untouched after allowing 3 runs here in the first inning.
To third, to first, high off the bag, the runners advance. They will slam on the brakes, so second and third for Michigan with 2 outs.
And we talked about that at the start of the broadcast. Errant throws, allowing the table to be firmly set. 2 runners in scoring position here for the Michigan Wolverine offense. They're definitely capable of scoring and sending them home.
And Alakwa at second, she was getting ready to run home as well, and then the stop sign came up just in time. Now Janisa Conway in a big spot.
And we talked about her being one to watch with how good she looked in warm-ups, and her first hit that was out in the outfield. Another nuked softball, so definitely one to watch for here in this game.
Flew out to Lewis last time up in right field. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a foul.
Conway being one of the few offensive bright spots in the last game in Game 3 versus Ohio State, going 2 for 3 at bat. 1 strikeout.
Here's the 1-2. Well outside.
And we're seeing Jacobson test the outside more here and less the tight pitches to the inside of the batter after that hit by pitch earlier.
Swing and a miss. Jacobson escapes the jam, and the Badgers keep this tied.
Speaking of the outside pitch, it worked that time. Great response from the Badger defense.
Badgers allow a few runners to reach on error, but Shelby Jacobson gets the chase and gets the clean inning.
When congestion gets in the way, flush it out with extra strength Afrin Saline with seawater. Wow, extra strength for daily relief.
Bottom of 2 here in Goodman Softball Complex in Madison, Wisconsin. Vince Hesprick with John William Raiders. We take a look at the Big Ten standings. And right now, Wisconsin and Michigan, not much of a difference between them, obviously, just the 1 win. But this is the most exciting time of year right now, John. You can see how close those teams are, 6 through 10. I guess 6 all the way to 13, separated by only a few wins. So every win is precious this time of year, and right now you can tell that urgency has been injected into both of these teams. Lineup turns over for Emily Bojan. She led off the game with a home run, her 6th of the season.
And both teams got tested early schedule-wise, playing 2 of the top 10 teams each, Washington and Nebraska for Michigan, and Nebraska and UCLA for Wisconsin. So both of these teams kind of had to get off the ground midway through their conference slate.
1-0 in there for a strike. I'm looking at the weather radar right now, Johnny. It seems like we're going to get a big storm arriving in the near future, but it's going to get by us a little bit later. Guess we'll have to see how it shakes out.
See what everyone thinks.
Bojan takes a strike, 1-2. I was wondering, Johnny, if there was a hypothetical tornado that appeared and a player hit the ball way deep into the tornado, if it was blown back onto the field and caught, would that be an out?
No way.
1-2 to Bojan. Called strike 3. Gabby Ellis, her first K of the day, and it's a big one for Michigan.
Huge strikeout to start off for this Michigan defense here. Pitcher by committee. Ellis showing why she should continue to play here for Michigan.
Now the first pitch to Blomberg in tight. I think it'd be an out, Johnny, if you hit a ball into a tornado and it blew back and it was caught. Because it didn't hit the ground,
well,
right?
If it leaves the stadium.
But, like, you can rob a home run.
I feel like that'd be fan interference, or in this case, tornado.
It's not. No fan has interfered. It's the weather. Like, you know, it's like sometimes you just get a lot of wind. You think it's going to be a home run. It gets knocked down by the wind and is caught. It seems like the exact same situation, in my opinion. If it hit a tree, on the other hand. 2-0, Blomberg grounds to third. It'll stay fair. A long throw is in time. And Blomberg seems like she thought it was foul. Seemed like it was just over the bag. So 2 quick outs for Gabby Ellis. Started this game in the middle of a firestorm after the original pitcher, Aaron Hain, got just 2 outs. And I'm sure that's exactly what Yvette Healy's talking about right now, is that ball down the line. Here's the look at it. I think that might be the pitch before.
So we're looking to see if the ball bounced before it got to the base, is what I'm...
Well, it's a matter of is it on what side of the foul line it's on, of course. Here we go. Oh, that is close. It's the most cliche analysis around, but it's one of those I don't think would get overturned either way. Too close to call. And here come the coaches. I wonder if,
case.
Yeah, well, I wonder if weather might also be a topic here. That's Bonnie Thole from Michigan, Yvette Healy for Wisconsin, 2 of the better coaches in the Big Ten.
Mutual respect for both sides.
It's worth mentioning that this is scheduled to be a doubleheader.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have to finish that point.
We'll see if that will stay the case.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's Brandon Blum. And 2-1, so Blomberg's going to get another chance.
So the ball did hit on the other side of the line, according to the officials.
On the third baseline, that's Trina Comford. First baseline, Michael Herz. So 2-1 count to Hillary Blomberg. Nobody on, 1 out. Tie game here in Madtown. Michigan had a 3-run homer to get the game started in Wisconsin. A marathon of a first. Badgers brought 9 players to bat, Johnny, in the first. 3 runs.
This is a tough test here for Ellis going against Blomberg, adjusting from the Mercer Conference speed of things to the Big Ten.
2-2, high drive, will it stay fair? No! That was an absolute rope out to left field, but, you know, the wind giveth, the wind taketh away. I wonder if the velocity might have steered that one. Probably foul either way.
A tad to the left in favor of the batter.
2-2, pops up to second, and an easy play for Janelle Ilacqua.
And just like that, a quick 1-2. Ellis starting off this inning pretty fast here, along with the infield and outfield defense.
Now the third baseman, Olivia Bark for the Badgers. She's 0 for 1 on the day.
Going 0 for 1, ground out in the first. She's huge for setting the table for the rest of the offense.
Bark behind 0-2.
Both these pitches very much hittable.
Off the plate, ball 1.
The sleeveless look new?
Well, it's a nice day out. And the guns are out. The 1-2 inside, slow roller to third. And after 6 runs in the first inning between the two teams, 0 in the second as the pitching bounces back.
When congestion gets in the way, flush it out with extra strength Afrin saline with seawater. Wow, extra strength for daily relief.
We are through two at Goodman Softball Complex in Madison, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Badgers and the Michigan Wolverines are tied up at 3 as Michigan gets set to get their offense ready to roll. They've got their star leading off, Lauren Putz, one of the best players in the Big Ten, hitting .471, singled in the first, ultimately scored. And here's the first pitch to Putz, low and away.
Here's the toughest test here for Jacobson. A chance to go a quick 1-0.
And bat to ball, runs in the family for the Putzes. Lauren's father, J.J. Putz. Ooh, high fly ball to left field, hooking foul. And it will stay that way, not too dissimilar from Hillary Blomberg's blast that was just left of the foul pole. But Lauren's father, J.J., an all-star reliever for the Seattle Mariners in 2007. He threw 71 innings, had 40 saves, 1.38 ERA, and was the Roll Age reliever of the year. So an elite pitcher, and now an elite hitter in the family, the next generation.
Mackenzie Foster maybe had a chance to rob that foul, and she almost robbed that home run against Nebraska. Didn't really get a good look at it, but did not complete the catch in that game.
The 2-1 to Putz. Drilled out to deep left, and now Foster is there to put it away.
Perfect timing.
The Syracuse transfer makes her mark on defense, and that is a big out number 1 for the Badgers. Now the starting pitcher, Erin Hain, who was moved to first after her outing ended after 2 outs. Hain got hit by a pitch, ultimately scored last time up.
One of the better utility batters/pitchers in the conference. 360 batting average. Great at getting on base, 28 RBIs, and 5 home runs to go with it.
And Hain threw 42 pitches in the first inning, got 2 outs. 1-0, straight up the middle for a base hit. 1 out base runner from Michigan. As Hain's pitching has been off and on the season, but the batting has really been consistent throughout. As her final pitching line over 42 pitches, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 earned runs. Faced 8 total batters.
Now you get Stevenson, who's hitting hot right now after hitting that home run earlier. And now you got Hain on base.
Michigan had 2 outs, nobody on in the first, and then Stevenson teed off. Takes a strike 1. Want to give a shout out to Suraj Kodali from the Michigan Daily. That's the independent student-ran station on campus at Ann Arbor. Really great write-up on Ella Stevenson, the way that she has transformed, the way that she has approached her style as that bounces in. Runner's heading to second. There might be a play, and the tag is there. Great recovery from Hillary Blomberg to catch the runner at second, and Wisconsin gets a second out.
And Hillary Blomberg has tried to make that same play 2 times in the last game, but here, on the money. Great play from the Wisconsin infield.
And now 2 outs, nobody on for Stevenson. And 1-1 up the middle. Lucy is there for the diving catch.
2 straight incredible defensive plays, 1 from the infield, 1 from the outfield. Complete defensive inning for the Badgers.
Badger offense gets to work. Tie game from Madtown. Well, if you've been watching what's going on, don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to understand that we are in a weather delay now at Goodman Softball Complex. There is some lightning spotted in the area. Looking at the radar right now, and it seems like that it's definitely a big storm coming through. A lot of purple on this radar, but it seems like it's going to get through, and maybe at around 7:10 it will finish up its trajectory. Pardon me, 4:10. But in the meantime, we're going to better be safe than sorry. It seems like something pretty big is on its way. So we're going to take a break. This will be the view likely when we come back, the perspective up high. Of course, we can't let the cameras get wet. Those are a couple bucks and definitely less replaceable than Johnny and I are up here in the booth. So with that, we'll take it to a weather delay here. But right now, it's been a good one. Hope to see you on the other side of this one. Vince Hesprick with Johnny Rader. Hoping you stick with us on Big Ten Plus. Hey, if you happen to still be tuned into this one, welcome back. Unfortunately, we don't have the news that we would like to deliver. We are going to cancel the rest of this contest. The Badgers and Michigan are tied at 3 apiece. That said, this game is not necessarily canceled. The result will be, we're going to start from where this contest is, the bottom of the third. It's going to start tomorrow at noon. They're going to play the rest of that game, and then once that game is done, they're going to start half an hour later, they're going to start the second game. They're going to have the second game of the doubleheader. So, Johnny, I mean, it's a shame we don't get to see this one out today, but we've had a good one so far. It was a blast being with you, and tomorrow we get to see this thing through.
Yeah, wouldn't have it any other way if it were going to be canceled.
Really?
Tied 3-3.
Well, I guess that will do it. I'm Vince Hesbrick with Johnny Rader. Shout out to my friend Spencer Saltz, who is set to do game number 2 of this broadcast and is now, he's just hanging out at Goodman for a while and had a fun old time standing behind us. But, of course, control room as well. Megan, Wyatt, Savannah, and the other Savannah.